In this video, we'll be taking a look at 2 college football games happening on November 8, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 college football games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. California versus Wake Forest. The California Golden Bears head out on the road to face Wake Forest in an Atlantic Coast Conference matchup scheduled for Friday, November 8th. Cal holds an even record of 4-4, but they remain winless in conference play with an 0-4 Atlantic Coast Conference record. Last week, they managed to break a tough 4-game losing streak with a solid victory over Oregon State. On the other side, Wake Forest also enters this contest at 4-4 overall, but with a more favorable 2-2 record in Atlantic Coast Conference play. The Demon Deacons have been on a bit of a hot streak, winning 3 of their last 4 games, all of which took place on the road. They return to their home field for this game, hoping to capitalize on their recent momentum. California, the only Atlantic Coast Conference team yet to secure a conference victory, faces the challenge of traveling 3,000 miles across the country and enters this game as a 7-point favorite. This long trip and heavy point spread make for a challenging scenario. While supporters of Cal might argue that the team has been close in most of its games and recently scored an impressive win over Oregon State, these points may not be enough to justify backing them in this matchup. While it's true that Cal has lost several games by narrow margins, one of those losses was to Florida State, which has struggled significantly in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Additionally, although Cal lost to NC State by a small margin, Wake Forest played NC State as well and actually came away with a win. With back-to-back road victories, Wake Forest appears underrated here. The Demon Deacons have only suffered 2 losses by more than 7 points this season, and both were to powerhouse teams, #5 Ole Miss and number 10 Clemson. California, lacking the depth and talent of these top-ranked teams, may struggle to exert control on the road. Wake Forest also has the advantage in the ground game, with running back Claiborne recording over 200 more rushing yards than any Cal player. Both teams are pushing for a win that would bring them closer to bowl eligibility, but they each face specific hurdles. Wake Forest has faced some difficulties in home games this season, while Cal has consistently struggled when playing on the East Coast. Something has to give, and the edge seems to favor the home team. Wake Forest has managed to win 3 of its last 4 games, showing an ability to pull through even if the games haven't always been flawless. Cal, meanwhile, ended its losing streak with a recent win, but that stretch had been marked by offensive struggles, turnovers, and a lack of explosive plays. These issues could easily resurface on Friday night, and if they do, Cal might be in for another challenging game. While Cal may seem like the better team on paper and is coming off its best performance of the season with a blowout over Oregon State, their form has been inconsistent. Prior to that game, Cal endured several losses, marred by a lackluster offense that struggled to find rhythm. Meanwhile, Wake Forest has quietly gathered momentum, winning 3 of its last 4 games, and is inching closer to a potential bowl game. Their recent back-to-back road wins should boost team morale, and returning home for a Friday night game could provide an additional lift. Although Cal's offense finally showed up last week, it would be unwise to overlook the inconsistency that has plagued their season, and quarterback Mendoza has struggled to find consistent form. On the contrary, Wake Forest's offense has demonstrated the ability to start games strong. While this may not be the most exciting matchup of the season, Wake Forest has a solid chance of doing enough to come out on top. So the Wake Forest Demon Deacons to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Defensively, both teams have benefited from an extra week of film study and preparation. California faces the added difficulty of a cross-country journey, and in prior games held in the Eastern Time Zone, they managed only 15 points against Pittsburgh and 9 points against Florida State. The Golden Bears' low scoring on East Coast trips emphasizes their need to rely on a strong defensive performance to stay competitive. California's defense ranks impressively at 13th in the nation for opponent scoring, a key factor that has allowed them to stay within striking distance in close games. However, the main issue has been an offense that fails to produce sufficient points, resulting in all 4 of their close Atlantic Coast Conference losses. Both teams rank outside the top 75 in scoring, suggesting this game will likely be a slow-paced, low low-scoring affair rather than a shootout. Wake Forest's advantage in the ground game may allow them to control the clock, maintain possession, and move the chains steadily on their home turf, with Cal's games going under the projected total in 6 of their 8 contests this season. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Rice versus Memphis. Friday night lights will shine on Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium as the Rice Owls and Memphis Tigers prepare for an anticipated clash. The Rice Owls, holding a 3-6 record, face the Memphis Tigers, who boast a stronger 7-2 record. This game marks their first showdown since 2012, a time when they shared Conference USA, with Memphis claiming a narrow 14-10 victory at home. Now, as members of the American Athletic Conference, Rice and Memphis renew their rivalry. The key question looms: will Memphis continue to assert dominance, or will Rice rise to the challenge? For Rice, this matchup feels much like a classic David versus Goliath battle. Memphis brings a powerful offense to the field, currently ranked 21st in the nation for passing, averaging 279.8 yards per game over the season. Impressively, their passing average has climbed to 328.3 yards per game over their last 3 contests. Rice, however, is no slouch defensively when it comes to stopping the pass. The Owls have limited opponents to an average of 173 passing yards per game and an even stingier 133.3 over their previous 3 games. In last week's contest against Navy, Rice benefited from interruptions due to weather delays, which disrupted Navy's rhythm, aiding the Owls in their defensive efforts. Those teams have a 4-5 record against the spread in 2024, with Memphis standing at 2-3 in home games and Rice at 1-3 on the road. However, Rice's Achilles heel remains its run defense, which has struggled this season, allowing nearly 160 rushing yards per game. This defensive weakness has often led to offensive challenges as the Owls struggle to gain momentum. Memphis, known for its relentless ground game, will likely capitalize on this vulnerability. By leaning into their running game, Memphis might not even need to rely on passing, sidestepping Rice's staunch pass defense. All signs point to Rice failing to secure its first road win of the season against a well-rounded Memphis team. Rice's tendency to abandon the run game might prove detrimental as well. Quarterback JT Daniels has displayed issues with ball security, which could be a significant liability against Memphis's strong pass rush, which will likely apply consistent pressure. Furthermore, Rice's passing offense lacks efficiency, creating an uphill battle to keep pace with the Tigers' firepower. In contrast, Memphis quarterback Seth Hennigan is in fine form, and with a supportive home crowd, the Tigers are poised for a decisive victory. Given these factors, the Memphis Tigers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The last 3 games for Memphis have all ended with the combined score exceeding the set total, with 2 of those games played at home. During this stretch, Memphis has been scoring an average of 40 points per game but allowing 39 points, making every game a high-scoring affair with shootout potential. On Friday, the trend of explosive scoring should continue, as Memphis's potent offense is set to exploit Rice's struggling run defense. Meanwhile, when Rice is on offense, their pass-heavy strategy will likely capitalize on Memphis's defense, which has allowed 7.2 yards per pass attempt. While Memphis has a 4-5 record on the over-under this season, the Tigers have tended to shine in conference play, covering the over in 3 of their last 4 conference games. In particular, their last 3 matchups have all ended significantly over the set total, with combined scores of 96, 61, and 80 points. Currently, Memphis averages 33.5 points per game, ranking them 25th nationally, while defensively, they allow 26 points per game, positioning them at 69. Rice, in contrast, has only had 2 of its last 6 games reach or exceed a combined total of 50 points, typically engaging in tighter, lower-scoring contests. Given Memphis's explosive offense and tendency to push the tempo, a high-scoring game seems inevitable. Their recent performances suggest they will likely dictate the pace, resulting in another high-point total on Friday night. Fans can expect plenty of scoring action as both teams vie for supremacy under the lights. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.